Hello and welcome to today's new video. In this video I will be showing you another budget speaker. This is the Renkforce CTBT-1. Maybe you have already seen this speaker on my channel, but now the price has dropped and I wanted to make a serious video with a good microphone and a good camera. And yeah, this is a stationary unit, so you can't take it around. It doesn't have a battery built in, but I think the sound is very impressive for a speaker which currently costs $50, which really isn't that much. Of course you can see this. The edges are already a little bit broken because I don't know why. I have never really used the speaker. Yeah, you can see it has 4 drivers built in, 2 tweeters at the in the middle, so sadly not placed on the sides, which would give you a nicer stereo image. They are quite harsh sounding, so I would recommend placing something in front of them. Maybe they have a strange boost, or they are just really cheap, which I think is the case here. So if you put something in front with a little distance, maybe 2 centimeters, the treble becomes completely fine and comparable to a JBL Extreme or something, but without this it had some strange rattling noise. Here we have the 2 full range drivers which give you the bass. Both of them are supported by 2 bass ports at the back. No farting noises as they don't move that much, although these ports are very small. Here we have all of our controls on this very cheap panel here. An on and off switch, our power plug, a wrong place sticker, a pairing button and an LED. Also a line in to connect MP3 players or something, and an output, so if you are rocking this music you can plug in your phone so it can charge. But yeah, today we will be comparing it against the JBL lineup, or 2 speakers from the JBL lineup. The JBL Charge 3, which is about 4 times the price almost, and the JBL Extreme, which is 5 times the price of the Renkforce, and I think this speaker really shines at higher volumes. Of course at lower volumes or at normal volumes it sounds a little bit boring, as it needs some DSP sound adjustment, so a little bit of bass boost, because I think it is only tuned by hardware, so no additional bass boost or something, but the louder you turn it the better it gets. At about 80% the speaker should outperform an Extreme and a JBL Charge 3 easily. There's one track by Nigel Good where you have a lot of sounds, a lot of bass heavy things inside of the music, and other speakers like the Extreme with a huge bass boost simply can't render this at higher volumes, while the Renkforce stays completely clean. So first let's try the JBL Charge 3. Let's turn this on. And I will plug in the Renkforce to the power. I already prepared a cable over here. It has 4 very big feet at the bottom, so it doesn't move, but the speakers in here aren't that flexible either. Has some very annoying welcome tones, and I think it should pair automatically. Yeah, we are paired up with both of them, and I will just get into this track, which sounds that impressive with the Renkforce. I just have to quickly adjust the volume.
When the sun it goes down on us, and the floor means there's no way back up, to undone. So carry on by my side, you and I.
You could hear the limiter kicking in with the charge, as it was a little bit too much for the charge with this track, while the bass kicks on the Renkforce remained completely punchy and really deep. I mean, it goes down to about 55 Hz, and we still are playing at about 80%, while the JBL really is on its limit while playing at about 90% already. Because the JBL has a strange volume control. Against all of the other speakers in this class, like the Wah Wah Voom or the A1, it sounds totally loud, as you always run it under 50%. I mean, there's a huge difference if you have it like this or at directly 50%, you can hear this. And these were just 3 volume steps. But if you compare to the Renkforce, which really takes the charge to its limits, you have to turn it over 50%, and then the volume steps are becoming smaller and smaller. Yeah, these were about 3 volume steps, so not that much difference. The DSP just becomes stronger, the compression becomes stronger, bass reduction becomes stronger, and everything doesn't really get better like with the Renkforce. Now let's try another track. This is just funny. The JBL already playing at about 90%, still can't keep up with the Renkforce. Let's try another track.
See the world through a cryptic mind. Can't say I'm sorry. Wrong and a twisted lie. Now this weight is a heavy load, caught in the middle. I'm a saint with a tainted soul. You take along, so tell me what your aim is. You say I'm wrong, so tell me why you're saying I'm a killer with a smile. Hold me closer.
Yeah, I think this is just no comparison. The Charge was missing this bass punch, and the Renkforce just sounded way more relaxed when you get this bum bum, this deep bass kicks. The Renkforce sounded awesome, bass down to 55 Hz already, playing at about 80%, and the Charge at 90% dying over here, as it really didn't sound that convincing. I placed the little Xiaomi Mi in the front of the Renkforce now, so the treble gets better. I can show this to you with this jazz track here.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile.
You get some very unnatural from this tweeter here, where nothing is placed in front of it. Maybe the grill would help, but I lost the grill of it. So yeah, I don't have it anymore. But let's try this jazz track now, and we will start with the Renkforce.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite.
Mid sounded a little bit clearer and less hollow on the Charge, although the Charge already is a covered sounding speaker, but still the Renkforce sounded more relaxed. Now let's try the big boy, the JBL Extreme, against the Renkforce, and you will hear that it doesn't sound that extreme anymore. JBL playing at about, let's say, 70%, and let's start.
When the sun it goes down on us, and the floor means there's no way back up, to undone. So carry on, you and I will only live in my mind. When the sun it goes down on us, means that
Also, the JBL doesn't really become louder after this volume step. The compression just kicks in, the limiter kicks in, everything is too much for the little drivers inside, while the Renkforce with this huge body here simply can still provide some punch up to 100% of the volume. Similar to a FIFA product, I think this is how FIFA prototypes sound, so not tuned with the DSP at all, just the raw power. Let's try another track.
See the world through a cryptic mind. Can't say I'm sorry. I walk along and I twist it. Now this weight is a heavy load, caught in the middle. I'm a saint with a tainted soul. You take along, so tell me what your aim is. I'm wrong, so tell me why you're staying. I'm a killer with a smile. Hold me closer.
With the JBL, you really didn't want to continue on listening to music. When the bass dropped, it was some very strange noise. The JBL always has this. The drivers are pushed too far and they make some very strange noises as they are touching the bottom of the magnets. And the Renkforce just really made this track great sounding. Let's continue.
Play with fire. I'm a killer with a smile. Hold me closer. Play with fire.
This just had so much more power than the Charge, the Extreme, sorry. The Extreme just had no chance. Let's try another track. All of the treble sparkling from the JBL was simply missing. It sounded very diffused, very flattened out because the limiter flattens everything out. Bass kicks were missing, just a hollow, diffused sound, while the Renkforce really sounded rich of sound. Very nice. Now let's try a jazz track so that no one complains.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, rose up in Spanish Harlem. She is a special one, she's never seen. She only comes out when the moon is on the run and all the stars are gleaming. She's growing up through the concrete, but soft and sweet.
Yeah, now they became more comparable. But as much as I love my JBL Extreme, the Renkforce just sounded so much better. I mean, it has way more power than the Charge, where, yeah, let me quickly place this correctly, yeah. So I think this is it from this comparison. We can put away the Xiaomi again, and yeah, I really have to say that I would definitely prefer the Renkforce over all of the others. Of course, if you are looking for a portable speaker, the Renkforce isn't the one to go, but if you want a cheap speaker solution which yeah, looks okay, you can also get it in black. There also is a Wi-Fi version, so if you prefer Wi-Fi over Bluetooth, yeah, you can simply get this version. Both cost about $50 to $60, sorry for my English there. And I got it in the German electronic store called Konrad Elektronik. So maybe if some of you are German or maybe from Austria, you can also get the speaker in this store. Maybe it's also sold under some other brands on Amazon. You just have to look for a speaker which looks similar. 2 full range drivers and 2 tweeters under $60, and you usually get the same sound, as these are all speakers which are tuned by hardware, so there is no different DSP tuning. If you can find one with DSP, even better, but then you have to be careful so the speaker doesn't sound compressed on higher volumes. I think this really is one of the best here. But yeah, so far I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Until then, have a great time and bye bye.